just tuned it in. Global and worldwide. Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the Fighter's Voice. The Fighter's Voice. With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz. And the formidable co-host, Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Fresno, California, we're live, Mad Productions Studios. This is the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters, knockout podcast. We're simply knocking out the competition. Today, we're going to recap on last weekend's boxing events, last weekend's MMA events. As you know, Top Rank with Tyson Fury. We're going to talk about the way the man is exploding, the way he's inventing himself, and we're going to recap Andy Benson's Altibaron, his fight that was on the card. The Fighter's Voice had a big interest in that affair. Also, the MMA world, and we're going to talk about this weekend's fights and also this weekend's news. And we're going to talk about Instagram world, the Twitter world, the Facebook world, and why are we fighting with each other in this world? When I say fighting, we're not even fighting fair. We're going behind each other's backs. We may not like what's going on, and then we're just taking it another step further than we need to. Either you like it or you don't, leave it alone. We're going to talk about a lot of things coming up in Fresno, California. Some events that are coming up local, like August 3rd, I'll promote it right now, Toscano Promotions. They're going to make it happen in the 209 in Stockton, California. And also, we're going to recap on 209's beatdown. That was in Modesto, California. That was amateur MMA at its finest. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend. When you look up IG, you see this guy everywhere. He don't have one account blowing up. He don't have two accounts blowing up. He has three accounts that are just blowing up. And he gets the attention of the masses. The ones that really need the attention, the ones that really want it, they're there. If you want something in the boxing news, look up Lalo's Boxing. He's on the line with us today, and he's going to tell us how he started, his passion for the sport, and where he wants to end up in this beautiful sport that we call the sweet science. Enough said. Lalo, welcome to the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. How's it going, my man?
What's up, Rich? Man, it's going good, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. My first time, debuting on the Fighter's Voice, the only voice of, the hottest radio show in the Central Valley, knocking out the competition, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure, man. But I got to correct you on one thing, because I used to always say this, Lalo. I used to always say, the hottest show in the Central Valley, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to make some people mad. I'm going to stir it up right now. I'm talking to Golden Boy. I'm talking to Top Rank. I'm talking to PVC, the Fighter's Voice. The only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition global, worldwide. And I appreciate California, but it's time to just move on and just hit the other states and hit the other towns, hit the whole world, man. And I know that's what you think every time you post something on Instagram, because you have just been a hot commodity, my man.
Oh, yeah, man, most definitely, man. I go by the Mr. Hottest Boxing page on the gram, man. Everything I say, man, it goes viral. Anything I post, gets the attention, man. It's all about entertainment. I'm here to entertain the fans, post everything about boxing. That's what I do best.
No, exactly. I mean, you seem to just be able to, and I'm going to use this word, don't take it out of context. You're able to just stir things up. You're able just to get the attention of those that are actually also hot on Instagram. You're making it happen, my man. I mean, and there's feedback there. You had the likes of the who's who retaliating or commenting on your page. I got to ask you this. How did it make you feel the very first time someone on the Instagram with a big following, a big name, reacted to your post?
I mean, it's I just, say, on anything in boxing, man, I like to, keep it real, man, keep it 100. That's the way I say it, man. And, boxing is my favorite sport. I've been watching it since I was a young kid. And, I'm going to call out these fighters, man, that one that are cherry picking, the one that are taking the easy route. And, they might get upset, but, man, we, the fans, we're the one that, are paying for these fights. We are the one that are, subscribed to this subscription, either DAZN, Showtime, and all that, man. So, if we're paying, I think us fans, we deserve the best, fighting the best. I'm enough with the BS, all these fighters, champions, fighting low-level competition, man. It's time, to give us our money's worth. And, many fighters, reacted to what I post, here and there. there's several of them. You know, some get mad, some get offended, but, you know, I call it how I see it. And I'm always going to keep it real. So, yeah.
You know, I do see that take place because we had some brothers on the show last week, Hugo Sanchez and Jesus Sanchez. And Hugo was wearing your shirt. And, you know, the one that I'm wearing right now, right in the front, it says Lalo's Boxing. And I'm rocking it right now on the show. And he did that, and I sent it to you. And the first thing you said, hey, what's his handle? Because I want to give him a shout out. I want to acknowledge him. As opposed to other people go, oh, that was cool, thanks. Nah, you took it in your own hands. They appreciated that. They said on the air, hey, I want to thank Lalo because, you know, he acknowledged us on the air. And to them that meant, because first of all, they're grateful. They're grateful brothers. And to them that meant a big deal to them. So you may be your everyday person, your 9-to-5 or what have you. But to other people, I mean, you got that little celebrity tag on you. You got that public figure tag on you. And you also got that tag on you like, man, what's this guy going to say next? And I kind of said it the same way. And you also, you ran with it. Nobody is safe. I said it during a conversation. And that seems to be your tag, man. And when I say that in a good way. Meaning, hey, hold your own weight. Don't start slipping because then it'll go into the public eye.
No, yeah, I agree, man. Yeah, as soon as, you know, you sent me the picture of Ugo, you know, rocking my shirt.
Yeah, Hugo.
And, you know, he was supporting, you know, so to me, you know, as a boxing fan, not only as a boxing fan, but, you know, whoever support me, you know, I will return the favor and I support them, you know. It's the little things that matter, you know.
Yeah.
And that was a big, you know, thing for me, you know, somebody rocking my, you know, merch. And,
yeah.
You know, it's just only right for me to support them. And, you know, give them, you know, some publicity on my page. So, yeah, you know.
So what's it like working with these promoters? Do you get mixed reactions from them? Do they embrace you? Do they feel the love? Or, you know, do they have a mixed reaction?
Well, some promoters, you know, they know me, you know. I make fights happen on my page, man. You know, fights become reality. You know, it starts off with an idea. And, you know, the promoters, you know, watch, you know, believe it or not, man, fighters and promoters, they watch our pages, man. You know, they see, you know, what we talk about, and they see the fight that we want to see. So it starts off of, you know, social media. You know, they get their little interest, you know, of the posts that I be, you know, putting out there. Like for the Anthony Joshua and Andy Reese, I was the one that, you know, put it out there. And then the next day, my boy Andy Reese got a message from Eddie Hearn, you know, offering the fight. And then, you know, Reese hit me back up. You know, hey, I got a call, man, from Eddie Hearn. You know, let's blow it up. And I was like, man, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's get this stuff started. That's what I told him. And after that, man, fight was made. And also another fight that, you know, was made, but, you know, it was kind of canceled because somebody got injured. I'm the Mares versus Tank. You know, that's another fight that, you know, started off my page and it blew up. And, you know, I'm the Mares hit me up like, oh man, I got ringside tickets and all that. You know, he showed the love right back, man. So, you know, everything starts off of social media, man. Promoters look at that, and, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, they thankful, you know, that I'm here in the game.
Yeah.
Like you said, celebrity-wise, I really don't take that, you know, over my head, man. To me, I'm just a normal boxing fan that love the sport. To me, I'm just a regular fan, man. But, I mean, everywhere I go, there's a lot of people that always show me love, man. You know, they support what I do. And to me, it's a hobby. But, man, if it takes me somewhere in the boxing world, you know, I'm going to go with it. And, yeah, man, I'm just a normal guy, man, that goes by the name of Lalo, that has his own boxing blog, Lalo's Boxing, the hottest boxing page on the gram, anywhere on social media. You can look me up, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm just out there, man.
So what got you interested in the sport of boxing? First of all, I want to say, you know, the Andy Reese and Joshua, man, and, you know, a lot of different media outlets, they did put some support in there, and they were also honored and pleased that Andy did reach out to several, and, hey, his whole life changed, man, and I can't wait to have him come through these doors in person. You know, we were blessed to have him right before any of the heavyweight talk was going to happen. There was just news that a heavyweight fell out. Nevertheless, it seemed to fall right on his lap, and we were privileged and honored to have him, you know, that week and even before to let everybody know that it was official. And you reaching out to him as well also contributed and just pushed it and got the attention and got the snowball effect. And I noticed the way you continue to do so. So what stops those fights from happening? Is it, in your opinion, is it the networks? Is it, the promoters? And, I don't want to take words from Rodney King, but why can't we all just get along and give the fans exactly what they want? I mean, let's return to the Leonard Hearns days, the Duran Hagler days, the Tommy Hearns days, when, hey, network didn't mean anything. We wanted to fight the best. Give me your whole take on that.
All right, man, it's pretty simple, man. To be honest, man, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. The people that stop the fight, people might think it's the promoters and networks, but I disagree on that, man. The reason why... I didn't say that.
I said, do you think that's the stumbling block, or what would you say it is?
No. I know you didn't say that, but I'm just saying, a lot of fans think like, it's a network or, it's the promoters. But in my point of view, it's the fighters. The fighters have to be willing to fight any other fighter. Mayweather, let's take this for example. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Bob Arum and Al Heyman didn't get along at that time.
Right.
When the fight was made, the person that got that fight to be made was both fighters. They both wanted it, and they made it happen. So,
I believe they contacted each other. They sat down like gentlemen and said, "Hey, let's work this out. Let's make it happen."
Yeah, exactly, man. So to me, it's up to the fighters, man. If fighters want to fight, they'll make it happen. If they don't, it's on them. And there's a lot of examples, man. I can throw out there like Lomachenko versus Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah.
Al Heyman. That goes again with Al Heyman and Top Rank. They didn't work together, but both fighters wanted it, and they made it happen. And one of my boys recently did a video with former TNT fighter Mickey Bay.
Yeah.
And his name is Big Rich from Real Boxing Facts.
Hey, what's up, Big Rich? I know who Big Rich is. What's happening, Big Rich? Yeah, man, I know he's watching and listening, man.
Yeah, but he did a video interview with Mickey Bay, a former TNT fighter.
Right.
And he even said what I just told you. The people that stop making fights, it's their own fighters. If the fighter really want it bad, they'll get it done one way or another. And I agree with Mickey Bay, man. It's up to the fighters.
You know what? I agree with you because I've been around those conversations when the fighter tells the manager, "Hey, get me endorsed by Adidas, or get me endorsed by Nike, or do what you can because I really want to go visit that place." So they do have a say. They do have an option. They're not afraid to speak their mind when they say, "Hey, you know what? I want to get paid a little more for that," or "I want to come in second in the ring," or "I want this color of corner." So they could also say, "I want to fight this other fighter. Do whatever it takes, make it happen." So I agree with you there.
Yeah, that's what I agree as well, man. It's up to the fighter. If they really want it, they'll make it happen. If they don't, it's on them. I stopped blaming the promoters and the other networks. I stopped, blaming them. Because at one point, I thought it was the networks and promoters, but then I realized now that it can't be it, man. If the fighter really wants it, it will happen. If they don't, they don't want it enough.
Well, I mean, do you think Tank and Lomachenko would ever happen?
Man, hopefully it does, man. For boxing fans around the world, that's a fight that, everybody want to see.
Yeah.
And, I don't want it to get marinated, too long. I think Tank, he's at, his prime right now,
Yeah.
It's sad that he's fighting these low-level, opposition. I know it's not his fault. It's the promoters and his management team. Because, every fighter, I believe is in the game to fight the best, you know. And, yeah, man, but hopefully, they do get it on, and that'll be a hell of a fight, I tell you that, man. I can't even call it, man, because Lomachenko's a skillful fighter, and so is Tank, even though, I'm a little hard on him, is because, his team around him, making him, look like he's taking the easy way out. And he's a champion, man. He's a young champion. If you're a champion, you got to move forward. You can't be fighting. You can't be going backwards. You got to move forward. Stop fighting these easy fights and getting on with the other champions at their weight class. In the top 10 or top 5 fighters, man. Us fans, like I said, we pay money and we don't want to see no BS fight. We want to see the real deal. We want to see who's the best of the best, the top dog in the division, and that's what I want to see. Fighters fight.
No, it's apparent you want to see it, and you even take it into another level. You even kind of play matchmaker, man. And we're going to talk about that. I want to talk a little bit about Tank when we come back. Lalo, don't go anywhere. I'm going to take a quick commercial. We're coming right back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the Fighter's Voice, our guest, Lalo's Boxing, the hottest boxing page on Instagram. And if you haven't followed him, make sure you follow him. And he's going to get a big shout out and help you follow him right now. We'll be coming right back with the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. Enjoy this commercial.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lupe Contreras, and you're watching The Fighter's Voice.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez. Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live in Fresno, California. I have on the line Lalo from Lalo's Boxing, the hottest boxing page on Instagram. If you don't know who he is, you better recognize, and you will know who he is. Or actually, you know what, half the people, you do know who he is, and you just choose to ignore. But it's funny, because you choose to ignore, but you still follow him. My man, what's up, Lalo? How we doing?
I'm good, chilling, man. You know, getting this boxing talk on with the hottest radio show in the world, man, the Fighter's Voice.
That's right, baby, all day long. Appreciate the support, my man. Okay, when we went to commercial, we were talking about Tank. We were talking about Davis. And you said you were hard on him, but yet you got some positive response, and you gave the man props afterwards. You said, okay, you know, hey, I like that. Because he called out another fighter, or he accepted another fighter that was more of a challenge as opposed to what he was getting fed to him in the early on.
Yeah, man. You know, he recently put out a tweet, you know, putting pressure on another champion in his weight class.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see, man. You know, I want to see him, you know, call out the big dogs in that 130 division, because the 130 division right now is stacked, man. We got Tevin Farmer, we got Joseph Diaz, we got Miguel Burchlet, the WBC champion.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of fighters in that division, man, and it's hot, man. So, you know, for Tank calling out somebody that is a champion, that's what I want to see. You know, him fight somebody that is, you know, a fight that where he's gonna be challenged. Because Tevin, he's a great fighter, man. He's very slick. He's a defensive fighter,
Strong fighter.
and you know, he got great boxing IQ, man. He remind me of what's his name, Pernell Whitaker, man. He got that defense like Pernell.
You know, that's a huge compliment. I'm a huge Pernell Whitaker fan. I mean, as far as defensively, strategy and his balance is just second to none.
Yeah, man. He's been compared to Sweet Pea, man. If you haven't checked him out, man, check him out.
Oh, definitely.
Great, very slick, great defense, very sharp, man. Great footwork, man. He's, you know, he's a real deal, man. At 130, man.
I agree with you. He's a total package.
Yes.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes. For me, seeing Tank, you know, call, you know, another champion out, you know, that gets my respect, man, because, you know, he is a champion, and he should be calling out only champions, you know, instead of finding these low-level fighters, you know. So, you know, I had to give him, you know, his respect, you know, his props, you know, for calling out somebody that's a champion in his division.
Well, you know what? I will say this. Not only that, he's at a point in his career, like you said, he was in his prime. That you get a small window of your prime in boxing now. It's even smaller than what it used to be back in the day. Now, he's matured so much because coming up, I mean, even Mayweather had to get into him a little bit and educate him and show him the ropes and show him the game. And he's matured so much. And like they say, you know, he got his act together. And somewhere down the line, unfortunately for Roy Jones, we didn't get to see him tested until later on in his career. But during his career, there was nobody in that division. Nobody at all. Now, Tank has combatants, fighters, true warriors in that division where you can test your skill set and ask yourself, am I the best? Am I truly the best? Did I truly clean out the division? Did I fight everybody possible to prove that I need to go down in history? Do you agree with that assessment?
No, I do, man. I do agree with that assessment.
So if you could play matchmaker today with Tank right now, You have the call. You have the power. You have the networks. You have the funding. I want it down to the location, my man. Who would you have Tank fight? Where would it be located at? And even give me a date. And even give me an undercard.
Oh man, that if I had that power, man, I would surely make that Lomachenko fight.
There you go.
Because those are two great fighters, man. The top dog in the division. I think that's
Yes,
one
sir.
and two, right at the 130 division. And Lomachenko, even though he's at 135, but he says he'll come back down, for that fight. And I believe in him. And if I had to pick a place to make that fight happen, it's only right you make it happen in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena or the MGM. So yeah, that would be the fight that would be great. And I'm pretty sure, man, it will be a sellout.
Okay, now who would you have promote that fight?
Who would I have to promote that fight?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be one. They can collaborate. Because we're talking about making a big event. This is Lalo's promotion right now.
Yeah, man. Man, that's a tough question, man. There's a lot of fighters out there.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask you this. And what undercard? Who would you have on the undercard?
Probably, another other champions under there, man. Depends what division,
Yeah.
If it's a 147, man, it's only right for Errol Spence versus Crawford. That's a fight that,
Cool.
me personally, every fight fan.
Lalo, are you trying to say that fight will be on the undercard?
Man,
That's another obese fight. That one needs to be at a Coliseum or something. That needs to, probably that one, yeah, at maybe New York.
Oh yeah, man. That's the fight that I want to.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All these fights together on one card, man.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Well, okay.
But, man, they're all main event fights right there, man. We're talking about Crawford, Spence, Gervonta, Loma. They could be the only headline.
Well, I'll tell you this. Let me throw some history at you. Okay, you had Julio Cesar Chavez and Maldrick Taylor, the rematch. I mean, because that was big. You had Azuma Nelson and Jesse James Leija, the rematch. That was big. You had Terry Norris versus, gosh dang it, his birthday just recently passed. No, it was yesterday. Terry Norris against Julian Jackson. No, I'm sorry. Terry Norris against Simon Brown. That was on the same card. And then you had Julian Jackson against Gerald McCollum, the G-Man, all on one card. Now, back in the day, say what you will about contracts being signed or this guy was that. Don King, he put together some fight cards like no other.
Oh yeah, man. His cards were always stacked, man, from
Yes,
top
sir.
to bottom. And if I had my own promotion company one day, that's what I want to do, man. Stack the card from bottom to top.
That's right.
All mega fights, all great fights, all even fights. So yeah.
Man, someone's trying to break in our line, but it's okay. They can keep calling, man, because when you got a hot show, man, people just want to keep calling and blowing you up. I'm getting text messages like crazy. Ask Lalo this, ask Lalo that. So I'm shooting off the hip right here, man. I'm reading some of the questions, but when you're on a cell phone, man, that thing may just drop, and I can't drop you, my man. But listen, I do want to say this. If they write the Andy Reese Jr. story, you're going to play him in his teenage years, my man. Did anybody tell you, you could pass for a double at times?
I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, if I'm a movie director and I'm writing the Andy Reese Jr. heavyweight story, I'm writing the story. Somewhere down the line, you're going to play my man because you guys resemble each other.
Yeah, man, that's what everybody says, man. I call him Big Bro, man.
Yeah.
We're both Mexican. We're both big. We got that gut, man. We got that Mexican power as well, man. But yeah, man, everybody, I get that a lot. Lalo, reminds me of Andy. I call him Big Bro, man. That's my twin, my older bro.
He's making it happen, man. We're talking about life changing, man, and they're negotiating as we speak, and we're going to talk more about that because we're going to take a small commercial break after a while. But we got time right now. I just don't want to get into that one so deep, and then we got to take a break. But I do want to ask you this, my man, and we were going to talk about this. You say you got your ticket already. You got your airplane ticket. You got your hotel already. You got your expenses paid for. And we're talking about supporting the one, the only, the Avenal kid, Mr. Jose Ramirez, putting his undefeated belt on the line and taking on another unbeaten warrior in his own backyard. What's your whole take with Jose accepting that fight in his opponent's backyard? Tell us in 45 seconds before we go to commercial.
Oh, man, it's going to be a great fight. I tell you that. It's going to be a sellout arena, man. We're going to have a lot of, Maurice Hooker fans in his hometown, but we're also going to have a lot of Mexican fans in the house supporting, Jose Ramirez, man. This is Texas that they're going to be fighting, man. Texas go wild for for their champion as well, man. But it's going to be a hell of a fight, man. I got Jose Ramirez stopping Maurice Hooker probably within 6 or 7 rounds.
Yeah.
Jose just a different type of monster, in my opinion, man. He got it all, man. He got the Mexican heart, with the warrior mentality, and he got that vicious left hook, and also, the body shot.
No, I agree with you 100%. And before we go, we're going to talk about that matchup. And I just wanted to introduce it to the fans, the public, the viewers, and also yourself. So you get ready, man, because I'm going to come at you with some questions about that. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break. We're coming right back. Rich Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice. The only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. And the only guest that matters is Lalo from Lalo's Boxing. If you don't know who he is, you better find out and you better recognize. But something tells me deep down you know who he is, and you act like you don't, but you still follow him. It's all good. We'll be coming right back from commercial.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Richard Ortiz, the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters, and we're back from commercial break. If you just joined us right now, we got Lalo from Lalo's Boxing, the hottest boxing page on Instagram. Some people hate, some people say this, some people say that, but at the end of the day, they still listen to my man whenever he busts a rap, because he's letting you know, man. I mean, when he's writing and putting it together, I got to ask him myself, too, because I'm thinking, I'm asleep. I wake up, and he has like 4 posts already, and he puts them together very creative. I mean, very creative when the way he puts them together, man. And I don't know where he finds the time to do it all the time, if he has a team, what's going on, but I'm going to get right in the middle of it. I'm going to ask him all the questions that the public wants to ask him, and they just don't know how to address it. Lalo, welcome back to the show. Thanks for hanging on, man. I got to ask you, man, where do you find the time, or where do you get the creative mind to put together your posts? Because they're not your ordinary post.
Oh, yeah, man. I just, I read a lot of boxing, man. So I read articles here and there, and I like.
So you feed your mind constantly.
Oh yeah, all the time, man. Boxing is always on my mind 24/7. That's the sport that I love, and I have a passion for it. So I like to keep everybody updated as quick as possible. If I hear something, I put it out there. I want to be the one breaking the news. Starting the trends.
Yeah.
And keep it going.
So, I mean, we talked about, before we came back, because I don't want to be all over scattered, we talked about Lomachenko and Davis. Now, there's one important thing we left out. Do you know what that is?
The what?
We didn't pick a winner, my man. Who's winning that fight?
Man, tough. That's tough. Man, tough fight, man. I can't really call it. It's a 50-50, man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tank got power in both hands. He's also very fast. He's got great boxing IQ, good reflexes. So Lomachenko, on the other hand, he's very, he got one of the best, greatest boxing IQ. He's a 2-time gold medalist for a reason. He got that amazing footwork. Man.
And crazy confidence. He has crazy confidence.
Oh, yeah, man. Crazy combination as
yes,
well,
yes,
man.
He does.
Lomachenko, he's a total package as well, man. But this fight will be a 50-50 fight. I can't even call it, man. May the best man win, and the only people that's winning will be the fans.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
The odds will probably they'll probably start off at pick'em and switch back and forth 2-1, 2-1. My only concern is where the fight's going to be. Is it going to be at a catch weight, and if not, how Lomachenko adapts to those 5 pounds of dropping. That's going to be my only concern going into that. But something that close, I don't catch. Honestly, I don't catch anything until that ring walk, or if I see something at the weigh-in. The press conference don't mean nothing because they're all going to say what they want to say. At that weigh-in, I'm looking for something. Their eyes, their mannerism, their walk into the ring. I mean, right before they're even announced, I always try to catch something. And I'm not going to feed you what I don't know. I'm only going to give you what I know. So, yeah. And you know, I do have a little bit of know-how. I don't want to bring it up or stir it back up, but I remember a conversation we had about maybe a year ago about 2 years ago. And I said, hey, Lalo, something's going to happen tonight. I said, I hope I'm wrong. And sure enough. But we can move on from that. But that way you get the idea of what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, no, cool, man. Now let's talk about the Avenal kid once again. I am excited about this fight. Jose is focused, and I know he got inspired by another fellow heavyweight champion, because as soon as Andy Reese won that belt, Jose went into the gym and he started saying motivation, and he started ripping liver shots like crazy. I mean, it's safe to say that if somebody was to interview him, either myself or you, he's definitely going to say, this is my best training camp.
Oh, yeah, man. I agree, man. Jose got a lot of motivation. Not only Jose, but all the Mexicans in the world, man. This was a big fight, man.
Yeah.
And it reached, made history, man, becoming the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, man. To be honest, man, I wasn't even shocked, man. I mean, going into this fight, I told everybody what's going to happen, and it happened. A lot of people thought I was a fool for, having Andy Reese. I predicted Andy Reese was going to win the fight.
Yeah.
I got a lot of hate, man. But, man, something told me, Andy Reese going to shock the world. And I seen, I was watching training videos of him getting ready, and he had the eyes of a tiger in each video, man. He was focused 100%. And, they came with a great game plan. And
absolutely. Let's not take away from Manuel Robles. I mean, those hands, that little pivot, and just, definitely.
Oh, yeah, no, Manny Robles had a great game plan for the destroyer, Reese.
Yeah.
They executed. They did a hell of a job, man, and they did everything correct that night. Even though Andy touched the floor.
Yeah.
But he had that Mexican heart. Got up. He didn't even try to hold on, man. He went straight, to bang, which a lot of fighters, shouldn't do. But man, he got blessed, and hit him with that left hook.
Well, I mean, exactly. And we'll say this, in that left hook, that's the one he got caught with. He threw the same combination. They both traded left hooks again. And this time, Andy Reese got the better of him. That was the same combination that they threw that drop in.
Left hook, Anthony Joshua was never the same fighter in that fight. He was hurt, from that left hook until the end of the fight. He was never the same fighter. And Andy Reese, confidence grew a lot, and he knew he was going to pick him apart and take him out whenever he wanted to, and that's what he did in the 7th round. Man, we had a new heavyweight champion, and I wasn't surprised. I already knew what was going to happen, man. Like I said, man.
We were blessed also to have him on the show, and before we went to the air, we did say, hey, we were with him, and we advertised him as the new heavyweight champion that's going to be crowned. And I don't just say that to guess because they're on the show. If I truly believe it, it'll come to pass. And we talked on there, and I said, hey, you call things as if they're not as if they are, because that's what Jesus said. So, and he's a man of the cloth. And being that said, man, I mean, hey, the new heavyweight champion of the world. Now, when he got knocked down, I actually said to myself, I was watching with my partner Bill, and I said, look, now's his opportunity, because he's going to come right at him, and he's in the pocket, win, lose, or draw, and he let those hands go, man, like a true warrior.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. He did let them hands go, and, man, he grabbed that left hook and, threw it, connected it, and hurt Joshua. Joshua never recovered, man, and, man, that did it, man. He was never the same fighter, in that fight.
Hey, you got to make sure that you what you're saying, it always comes to pass, my man. I'm going to be careful what I ask you.
Yeah.
So I'll just give you a hard time, man. I'm busting your balls a little bit because what you say, it's pretty much on the mark, man. And we bring you up from time to time. I don't know if you have time to watch the show all the time. I bring you up from time to time. I'll say, yeah, well, Lalo said this, or this is what's going on right now. Matter of fact, I'm rocking the gear right now. So I want you to join me on this right here. Okay, so later on, I want you to go back and watch this right here. So this works for the champion. And it's going to work for the fighter's voice because we're going to get the exclusive. We're going to get that interview. We're going to get those likes and those followers right now. But right now, I'm going to give a plug right now. I'm going to do an Andy Reese plug right here. Snickers right here. The fighter's voice. This is the candy of choice, the fighter's voice of Snickers. So Andy Reese, when you're watching, my man, boom, right here. See, I'm going to take it in a little step further. I'm going to go and open this bad boy up right now. And maybe it'll enhance my voice or, enhance some of the people to take note of exactly what we're doing. Okay? Lalo, it's actually pretty good, my man. If you want one, I'll send you one.
Oh, yeah, man. I started eating more Snickers ever since Andy Reese won that fight, to be honest, man. I'll go grab me a Snicker at lunch break or even a break when I'm at work, man. I'll grab it and eat it, and I feel like a champion.
That's right. You know what I mean? Because I had a sore throat coming in here. I was under the weather. Right now, I just ate the Snickers. I feel like I can ring announce 12 fights, go cage announce another 12, broadcast the Fighter's Voice Knockout podcast, and do the Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass podcast all in one sequence, man, thanks to my Snickers bar. So how's that for a plug? How does that sound to you?
That sounds perfect, man. You're going to make me go get me a Snickers right now, man.
Oh, that's
I'll go to the store, grab me one.
There you go. And while you're there, go to that cold box and grab something cold, too.
Oh, yeah, man, we get the brews on as well, man. Get the Modelos.
There you go, or, something else. But that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Lalo, I can't let you go, man, because we got one last segment, and I got to pick your brain, man. We're going to get in depth. We're going to go round by round, and we're gonna call the Jose Ramirez fight from the first round to the second round. Hey, Rich Ortiz, we'll be coming right back with our guest, Lalo's Boxing, the hottest podcast on the Instagram. We'll be coming right back.
I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
The Fighter's Voice.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Hey, Rich Ortiz here, and we're back. The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. It's real hot in here. And that's what happens when you're talking to the man that brings the heat, that brings the fire, when you're talking about Lalo's Boxing, the hottest IG on Instagram right now that's making it happen. And I want to talk about to the ones that they may say, okay, I don't agree with what he's saying. I don't agree with what he's doing. But at the end of the day, Lalo, they say that, but they continue to follow you, man. How do you explain that?
Oh, yeah, man. They're going to follow regardless, man. I'm giving out great content every day, man. Trending, breaking news, and, even my haters have love for me deep down. And, I take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. Either way, they're still, I still got their attention, and, I'm still going to bring the hottest boxing news out every day.
Yeah, that clock needs to roll. But, check this out. And you're being humble, because a lot of people don't know. When I saw you, we did a show together. When I saw you, and I even acknowledged you when I was inside the ring, you were at 69,000, correct?
No, I was at 76,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. But I announced you at 69. Maybe I just had that number in my mind. I don't know. I seem to have that number a lot in my mind.
Yeah, it was 76,000, man. I was doing my thing.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, no warning, PG&E just turned the lights on you, man. No 24-hour notice. No, 2-week notice. Hey, all of a sudden, just boom. I mean, why is that? What makes a person have say to do that, or what was the reason? You never really talked about it publicly, without pointing fingers or getting real in depth. Give us your view on that, my man, because I don't understand how you had all these followers, fire's going, it's blowing up. Every day it continues to grow like a forest fire. Then one day it's just not on.
Oh, yeah, man. It was crazy, man. I was just, I was getting a lot of attention, man, from breaking news every day to, you know, creating matches to, you know, starting trends, you know, for boxing, for you know, boxers and all that, man. My page was just blowing up every day. I was getting at least, like, I was averaging at least from 3 to 5 million, you know, impressions a week. And, you know, I had the numbers, man. Like, I got my own little model, man. I took it from, you know, the TVE from Mayweather, man. He said it like this: men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And my numbers never lie, man. They're always hot. And that's why I go by the hottest boxing, you know, page on Instagram, because my numbers were, you know, very high, and they never lied.
You know, when people Lalo, when people hear that and they frown on that comment, how do you take that? How do you perceive it when you really say it? Do you honestly 100% truly believe that, or are you saying that as a slogan? What's going on?
Oh, no.
I know the answer to that, but I want to ask you so the listeners and the viewers can hear it from Lalo himself.
Oh, yeah, no, I believe it, man, because, you know, I was getting the numbers, and I have proof of it, you know, but I was just, you know, I was just so hot, man, and, you know, when you're the hottest boxing page, you're getting, you know, celebrities, from artists, rappers, fighters, champions. Everybody, you know, was putting my content out there in their own page, and, you know, my numbers was always there. You know, I had a great following, and you know, I believed it, man, because, like I said, numbers don't lie, and the numbers were always there, and they was always high, and, you know, I never sugarcoat nothing. I always kept it real, and I still do to this day, even though I might get hated on, you know, for saying something I'm not. But that's not going to stop me, man, because, you know, even my haters, you know, have love for me.
Yeah, we just posted right now a copy of your page right now, so they can follow you and they can see firsthand exactly what exactly is going on right there. So, yeah, we got it right there on the screen right there, Lalo's Boxing Official. Oh, I like that. I like what you wrote down there. It says, follow, don't swallow. My man, Lalo, making it happen.
Yeah, man, you know, this is my new page. Since the old one got deleted, I had a haters, you know, probably reporting my page. It's all good, man.
Yeah. I'm
still here. And,
okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said you had haters reporting your page. Why would they report it?
I couldn't hear. Can you repeat the question?
You said you had haters reporting your page.
Oh, yeah, man, I have a lot of haters, man, but it's all good. It comes with the territory, man. You
yes,
know,
sir.
You're the hottest boxing page on the gram, man. Of course, you have haters, and they're going to hate. But, you know, they can't stop the shine, man. They can't stop God's word. And, you know, that's why I made the new page. And we're already almost at 20K, man. We're at 18.2. And, you know, that's only like 6 months worth of work right there, man. So, you know, I got all my loyal fans, you know, my supporters, you know, still supporting, still riding with me. And we're growing, you know, day by day. So, you know, we're going to get there. And we're going to surpass that 76K. We're going to get to probably millions within a few months, few years, man. That's the goal, man. You know, spread boxing all around the world.
Ready or not, here you come, right? A household name. Man, bro, I'll take 25% of what you have. I mean, a lot of people, when they ask about the Fighter's Voice, man, I always describe it as the hottest show that nobody knows about, because we need the following, we need the viewers. And we're just going to continue to do what we do, and that door will open up, man, because I truly believe when I say the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters, it's not a slogan. Some people take it to another level and they get upset about it, but there's plenty of pie to go around. There's plenty of it. You know I'm not the only one out there doing this, but in this area I am, all the way from Bakersfield down to Sacramento. I am. I mean, it may be a small venue, but you know, somebody needs to step up and offer a platform for the fighters, and that's what I wanted to do. You know, give them a platform. Every fighter has a voice, and so do you. And that's exactly what the Fighter's Voice stands for. That's why you're on the show, man. And I'm not going deep on you on these questions. It's just I want the fans to know exactly what's going on so they can even appreciate even more, because a lot of people don't even know your 76,000 was shut down and you had to start all over from 0.
Oh, yeah, man. I had to start all over, man, from, you know, 0. Surely went to 100 and then to 1,000, now to 10,000, and now we're almost at 20,000. That's like a quarter of my following right there, man. But we're going to surpass, you know, whatever I had. That number, 76. That's just a number now, man, and my goal is to surpass it and, you know, get to the 100Ks, and after the 100Ks, go to the millions, man. Like I said, man, I'm the hottest boxing page for a reason. It only took me about 6 months to get where I am now, man. And that's because I had all the support, man. Even the champions, reposting my work, reposting my pages.
Yeah.
I got a lot of supporters showing me love, man. They enjoy what I do, man. When I say I'm the hottest boxing page, I mean it. And, I got the supporters to back me up, man. I'm not the only one that say it now, man. I got everybody saying it. My followers. I get a lot of, DMs daily. At least, right now, I got over, 300 DMs, people enjoying, thanking me for what I do, man, keeping them updated every day, just giving them the trending news, I got a lot of DMs, man, and, it's my hobby. This is what I love to do, man. I love to talk boxing, and I can talk it, all day, every day. I will never shut up talking boxing. There
you go, man. You got to be passionate about it. Ali Setback told me one time, he said, Richard, you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And actually, Ali Setback's the one who gave me the nickname, The Only Voice. So he said the fighter's voice, the only voice. And I just took it a step further. The fighter's voice, the only voice that matters. We're simply knocking out the competition. But, I want to give props to Ali. There was time, we have a conversation before. There's times when the man's busy. But nevertheless, you got to make time for the grind. You know what I mean? I always truly believe in looking someone in the eye and giving them their just due. But at the end of the day, I can't say I understand, but you got to learn to understand. And you may not get the answer you want, but you're not there for their answer or their approval or their praise. We just keep going and doing what you're doing. But he did he gave us that name, I believe. Yes, it was in Las Vegas on the Crawford fight. He said the fighter's voice, the only voice. So we ran with it. And so here we are. Just like Lalo's boxing, my man, you're on fire, man. I mean, you're making it happen. You're opening doors. People are approaching you. We had a conversation before. Yeah, we're rocking your logo right now. We have it on the screen. People are approaching you, even promoters that needed some assistance, some help, the blueprint with the followers, with the stream. Well, I'm not going to mention any names, but we had a conversation back in the day. Do you recall that conversation we had?
Oh, which one?
About a promoter wanting to reach out to you and maybe some assistance on helping him get his page started or putting a fire on it?
Oh, yeah. Man. That's true, man.
Yeah.
I have fighters, even fighters, call me, DM me, and, they ask for advice, and they want me to run their page, man, because they see what I'm doing. They see, how I'm doing it, and, they want that extra help, man, and, I'm here to help every fighter, man. That's what I do best.
No, that's good. Hey, KP, we're going to keep on rolling right there all the way through that last track, and I believe we got 4 more minutes. I got to talk about my man, Andy Vincent's Altibaron. He came up short against Bell. It was a battle of unbeatens on the undercard of the top rank card. I know you watched the fight. What was your take on that? What was your take on the whole fight?
Man, my take was it was a close fight.
Very close.
It got even closer at the end when I just believe Andy Vincent started off a little slow, man, and he let some rounds go. He was not really throwing enough.
Yeah.
But when he started throwing, that's when, the fight was going his way, but he just started a little too late in my point of view. But, it's nothing major, man. It's just a minor setback for a major comeback, and, I'm pretty sure he'll come back stronger than ever. And, he'll learn, off this, learning experience. It's not even a loss, it's just a learning experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And, he got what it takes to, bounce back, and I believe he will.
I think he is going to be a world champion. And, I'd let him know that it's only the second chapter of your life, of your journey. Even fighters that win their belt now, today, this minute, there's no guarantee they're going to hold on to it. It's the ones that finish the race with their hands up, not the ones that start the race. And I truly believe that. I got to ask you also about the phenom, man. 209, Gabriel Flores Jr., my man. His footwork is phenomenal. And I like the fact that his left hook, he's starting to shorten his left hook some and create that power. What's your whole take on that?
Oh, yeah, man. Lil G, man, he's a real deal, man. He got it all, man. He got great boxing fundamentals. He got a great jab, footwork.
I love the jab. I love that jab.
Yeah, and the thing about it, he's still young, man. He's still growing. He's only about 19 or 20 years old.
19.
Man, he's a youngster in the game, man. To have that talent, the way he has it right now, man, just wait till he get a little bit older. Wait till his manpower, his manpower's already kicking in. We've seen it in his last fight in his hometown, man. Knocked that dude out. and he's going to continue to get better, man. You know, he's the future of boxing, in my opinion, man. He's going to become a multi, you know, champion in different weight classes, in my opinion, man. He got it all, man, and I'm surprised. So I'm wondering what the future has in store for him, man. It's going to be he's a great fighter.
I mean, that's one of the words that I used with his dad, his man strength. And I did say that he's probably going to finish his career at 154, maybe 160 because of his frame. So, and that's about along the way. Now,
man, I'm pretty sure he will, man. But he's going to be a complete fighter, man.
Yeah.
He got his boxing fundamentals is there. And every time I watch him fight, man, it's like poetry in motion, man. He got the defense, he got the offense to go with it. And, you know, he ain't scared to let his hands go. And like he said, spaz out season for him. He's going to be spazzing out.
I like him outside of the ring as well, just the maturity level on where he's at and where he's at mentally in the game. And, you know, you can see you can see a bunch of father and son relationships, and you can see right off the bat what works and doesn't. This relationship, this team is only going to get stronger because it seems to work with him very well.
Oh, yeah, man. His father knows him, you know, very well. That's his son. And to me, it's the best father and son duo in the game, man. There's a lot, but, man, they come from, you know, a background from Stockton, California. Not too many things come out of Stockton, man. So, you know, if he's coming out of Stockton, he's putting on for the city, and the city's going to have his back, man. And what he's doing for the city, you know, bringing boxing to not only his city, but to Northern California, major ESPN boxing.
I believe he's going to take over Lalo, I believe he's going to take over Sacramento along the way.
Oh, yeah, man. He's taking over all Northern California, and soon he's going to be all California, and then after California, it's going to be nationwide and worldwide, man. He's just getting started, man. Like I said, he's a youngster in the game, but, man, he fights like he's already know what he's doing.
Now, listen, these are coming from the words from the Hall of Famer, the one, the only, Mr. Lee Samuels. He told me a couple fights back, he said, this kid right here is a true prospect. He said, he is the hottest prospect right now we got. Those came out of Lee Samuels' lips. He said that. So, you know, I never share that with Gabriel. I've never said that, or, you know, I don't go running back and forth. But at the end of the day, a man that's been, I mean, you got to remember a man that's been around Muhammad Ali, a man that's been around Oscar De La Hoya, a man that's been around Sugar Ray Leonard. And he didn't compare him, but wisdom in those words came out of his mouth. So there's a pattern there to success when a man sees, when a man notices the golden tools that one does have, and that's Gabriel Flores Jr.
Yeah, man, like you said, he's been around for a long time.
Yes.
So, and when he sees a special fighter, I'm pretty sure he knows it.
Yeah.
And Lil G, he's a special fighter, man, and he's gonna become great in the sport of boxing. He's gonna leave his mark.
Well, rumor has it they're coming back to Stockton in November. I'm sure you heard that word too. The headliners are up in the air right now. It all depends. Waiting on a lot of when Jose, after the Jose fight, a lot of questions are going to be answered. So I just got that news today.
Man.
It was dropped to me. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it back, man.
Yeah.
To his city, man. He put it on, man. And his city, man. It was a sold out show when he brought boxing to the 209. All the love was there. All the support.
It was crazy, Lalo. I was there. It was crazy. It was a different type of energy. It was a different type of energy.
Hearing, man. Unfortunately, I missed out. I had to, work that day, but man, best believe it, man. I'm gonna use my PTO next time and
that's what's up.
Go to that homecoming, the second homecoming, man, because Lalo got to be there, no doubt.
Now, when you do go there, okay, make sure you stay at, and I'm gonna give him a plug, the Waterfront Hotel in Stockton. I mean, that is the place to be. You can walk to the facility where it's at, and also just it's a nice hotel to stay at, man.
Okay, sure, man.
Yeah. Lalo, we got a few left, but I want to say this, man. It's been an honor and a privilege having you on the show. Thanks for being a guest on the show. And let everybody know exactly what Lalo's Boxing has in store. And how can they follow you if they have not followed you now?
Oh, yeah, man. What we got in store, man, is great boxing content on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and not only YouTube but Facebook, man. We're all over the 4 social major networks. So make sure you guys follow us at Lalo's Boxing, man, the hottest boxing page in social media. So, you just look me up on Twitter, Lalu's Boxing, YouTube, Lalu's Boxing, Facebook, Lalu's Boxing, Instagram, Lalu's Boxing Official. And we're going to continue to do what we do best and set trends and break news and, give the fans entertainment. This is an entertainment business, and I'm here to entertain the boxing fans one way or another. And I'm always going to take it to the next level, but I'm always going to keep it 100.
Well, there you go, man. There you go. Hey, Rich Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. I want to thank our guest, Lalo from Lalo's Boxing. So I'm going to get his address. I'm going to send him an official Fighter's Voice hat. I'm going to send him a Snickers. And I can't send him a shirt because he already has some. But I'm rocking his shirt right now, man, and his gear is off the chain, off the hook. A lot of people have been asking, because it's the white on the black, a lot of people have been asking, because it's summer, if they can have the black on the white. So I'll let you handle that part of it, and make sure you get those out there, because they do want to rock your gear, man. And you are touching lives, you are making people smile, you're making them frown too, to keep it real. But at the end of the day, what do? They keep following you. And they have that freedom of choice of that button where they can. But they want to know what exactly is going on and what you have in store, and you let all the viewers know and the fans. I picked your brain a little bit, but you were there. You stood your ground. You're a historian as far as your knowledge for the game. I respect it. What I don't respect, man, is when I call you, my man, you got to answer the phone. I know you're on a break or something, my man. I'm going, man, Lalo, what's he doing right now, dude? And also, man, I'm waiting. You talked about getting one Modelo. You need to get two. You know what I mean? You got to toast with somebody, my man. We'll make that happen. How does that sound?
Sounds good, bro, man. Sounds good.
Okay, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for the day. And as always, I dedicate every show, every voice, every breath of fresh air that comes out of my mouth. It's a wrap here at the Fighter's Voice. Thumbs up for Richie.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week.
Same when, same how.
And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, our special guests, and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.